Oh man, welcome to the Wheel Wide channel. I'm on half of the team Shaq. We just set the record straight. All right. Those of y'all, I've been getting a lot of phone calls, a lot of text messages, a lot of emails. We appreciate your concern on why haven't we or why dropped another episode, where you guys have been. Well, we've been on break, we've been on vacation, you know. So we appreciate all the support, we appreciate all the love, but we are back. That's right. Season 3, episode 7. We have a very special episode, but y'all know, go ahead, drop that beat. Oh boy, I tell you, man, that beat just get good every time, every time. Got a very special guest in the building today. Um, Man, before I even introduce this next guest, man, you know what we like to do here on Wheel Y. We haven't did it in a while, but I just feel like it's only right that we do it because of this person, because of this guest, because of this individual. So the acronym for the day is EAE. Eliminate all excuses. Let me repeat that. Eliminate all excuses. That's what I'm talking about. Eliminate all excuses. Excuses only sounds good to those who use them. Uh, this guest right here is clearly an example. Who a person who has already eliminated all excuses. I mean, this individual has did so many big things. He's a man of perseverance, trials, tribulations, endurance, given the power of never giving up. And but what we like to do right here on Wheel Why, that's why it's so special. We don't like to just give people introductions. We like to get deep and we like to go to the root, and we allow individuals to come on the show and to get deep and to get into the root and to explain the process. So please help me welcome my brother from another mother, Malik Jones. Welcome to the show, my brother.
Hey man, I appreciate you for having me on the show, man. It's an honor to be here, man. First and foremost, I would like to thank God for this opportunity to actually be on this show, man, because without God, I wouldn't even be here. And as you stated, it's nobody but the grace of God, you know what I'm saying, for me to even be here, for us brothers to connect, and for you to share your platform. In the near future, I'll be in a position to share my platform with you. You know what I'm saying? So again, thank you. I appreciate it.
Wow, man, appreciate you, man. You know, we definitely got to give a most credit to God, man. That's what it's all about. We know I wouldn't be here, and I'm sure you wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for God, man. So we definitely do that. But let's just get right straight to the chase, man. We're gonna get right down. So we mentioned the process, and I mentioned earlier that you was a man of endurance, a man of perseverance, a man who just been through a lot. Uh, I this is my first time. I'm so humble and thrilled because this is my first time even meeting you virtually. I heard so many great things about you. So let's get straight to the nitty gritty, man. Take us from the beginnings, my brother.
Uh, I'm gonna take it from the beginnings. I'm gonna give you something that a lot of people probably have to play a pretty nice penny for now to hear some of this stuff that I'm gonna share with you tonight. And I got the word that I used last week when they called me for an interview was exclusive. Let me give you some exclusive. So the beginning is I start out by saying this. I was born to a young mother, young single mother at that. She had 7 kids, 5 boys and 2 girls. It's three numbers. It's two numbers that you already said on this podcast. That means a lot to me. A lot of people don't believe in angel numbers and numbers and things, but I do. I believe in a God. God has many ways of showing affirmations and confirmations that you're on the right path and things like that. Number three, you said three. I'm running for District 3. You said number 7. My mama has 7 kids. She had 5 boys and 2 girls. But not only that, it was so unique about the number 7. I was born January 7, 1997. Not only was I born January 7, 1997, my life path number is number 7. So I want you guys to look up the number 7, angel number, life path number. as you watch this podcast, I want everybody to look up that number seven. And as we get into this podcast, you'll realize why, how it manifests a lot of things over my life, and how number seven is so connected to me. But as I was stating, I was raised by my biological grandma. She actually adopted me. I was awarded to the state, and my grandmother came and adopted me. My father's mother, she legally adopted me. Um, and growing up with her, the life was it was just crazy. I didn't want to live with my grandmother, to be honest. I wanted to stay with my mother or my father. And so when I realized that, I began to act out. I began to clash out for no reason, not understanding the process. See, everybody want the product, but nobody want to go through the process of developing that product, right? Everybody want to buy diamonds and they want to shine, they want to buy all the stuff, but do you know what it takes to build a diamond? You got to go through so much pain. And the whole time I wasn't understanding this until the other day, my story and why God took me through the things that He took me through. It was a test. When God give you tests and He give you assignment, He gives them to you because He know that you can handle them. Sometimes you question God, why? And I ask God many times, why could I never come home to my mom and dad? Why would you make me have to be raised by my grandmother? I can't stay with my other siblings who I really want to be with. But God said, I'm gonna put you through so much pain that you're gonna be so relatable to so many people. As of right now, everyone in my family is doing good. My mama have no kids in the cemetery. My mama have no kids in the grave. My mama have no kids in jail and no kids in prison. I thank God. But I'll tell you this: the whole time that I was staying with my grandma, I saw this image in my head of my father, and I just wanted to be with him. And at 11 years old, he came home. And when he came home, it really took a toll on me because I thought he was going to be there, and he left. He left within 2 weeks. And when he left, I began to really act out and do things. I was already bad growing up, like just acting out, just doing things in school, getting put out of school. I was already in alternative school. I just got put out of alternative school. I actually went to alternative school for something I didn't do. I literally just told my daughter last night, like, baby, you're gonna have a different life because I paid the price for you. You're not gonna have to worry about experiencing some of the things that I've experienced because I've already paid that price for you. And so my dad went back to prison in 2 weeks. That same weekend, I stole my grandmother's van at 11 years old. And it's so crazy because I didn't even go to jail. I didn't go to juvenile that day. I went to the hospital, I went home. But the first time I went to juvenile and my grandmother told them that I stole her van, they pulled up the police report and they added to my juvenile record anyway. I continued to go back and forth to juvenile. It was went to juvenile 9 times before I got it together. I'm be honest, 10 times before I got it together. But that 10th time, it really showed me, and honestly, the 10th time is what actually have me doing the things that I'm doing right now. I went to court. I thought I was going to court for something that I did in school. I got in trouble. But the whole time I'm going to court for something that I did at home prior to me getting this court date. So when I went to court, I'm like, hey, I'm about to tell this judge that I just got my packet to go back to my home school. Can you give me a letter of recommendation? The whole time I'm about to get committed to the state. I didn't even know that. So I went in court, I got committed to the state. My grandma didn't show up to court. Like it was already set up. Like it was already set up. And I felt bad because I felt like there was no one there to fight for me. But at the same time, I couldn't feel bad because I had put my grandma through so much. Every time that I used to have her going in and out of juvenile court, she used to say, I don't want him like in my house. I'm done with him. I don't know what else to do. The whole time God was creating my story. But one thing I tell you, my grandma always came back. She never gave up on me when I thought she was giving up on me, when I thought she was being hard on me, when I thought she was teaching me like the black sheep, when I thought she was treating me as like an underdog. She just prepared me for what I'm getting ready to step into now. And that's the process. And we always going through the process, though. We can never feel like the process is over. And so when I went away, at first it was like, you need to go to a youth detention center. You need to go to a youth detention center. You need to go to a drug placement. I'm like, oh wow. So I went to a drug placement in Atlanta, a place called the Varsity, and I had a jumpsuit on. So embarrassing. It was so embarrassing. They didn't take me in the drug placement. At that moment, I realized that when you get in trouble with the law, they read you, they try to figure you out by things that you was accused of, by your criminal background, by your history. And sometimes they don't want to take a chance on you. But see, in America, it's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. But when you're a black man in the United States of America, you're guilty until proven innocent. When I went to Dublin, Georgia, I opened up that American government book. And when I opened the American government book, this is when I knew that I was going to change. This is how I knew the things that I'm doing now, that I'm on the right path to making my dreams and goals become reality. Opened up that American government book. I always liked government. And it said, in order to be the president of the United States of America, there's only two requirements. Well, there are more requirements, but there's two requirements that stuck out to me. Must be at least 35 years of age and serving two congressional boards. At that moment, that became my dream job. A lot of people didn't know it, but I knew that was one of the jobs that I wanted to do. While I was in that boys' home, I actually wrote President Obama. I actually came home from that boys' home, and as I was in that boys' home, I was reached out to by my now I call Mama Jimmy Simone Grayson. Shouts out to her, man. I love that lady. Like, to be honest, I talk to this lady more than I talk to my biological mom. Call her momager. When I tell you this lady is very, very important to me. And as I continue to go to the next level, she's definitely the first person that has to seat at the table, next to God. I promise you. Like, I'm gonna be honest. I text her the other night, and I told her, I said, "Quit your job in November. The beginning of November, quit your job and trust in God." Um, and so she reached out to me because I was a church. I went to church, New Generation Full Gospel Baptist Church. My mentor, Mr. Corey Frazier, was the one to introduce me to that church. And I used to like it. Used to be involved. Used to things we used to have dances. I used to be dancing in church. The whole time I didn't understand, but God was using me. And God was telling me something. But Miss Iman is so special, so pivotal because she was the one who made me realize gift. My gift was my voice and speaking. More so, I had a story. See, most people think that you got to write a resume. See, I have a problem with writing resume. I have to get other people to write resumes. But it took me this long to realize that I am the resume. Job is not for me. I am the job. To represent somebody else's brand is not for me because I am the brand. You know. Um, but when she reached out to me, she said, "Hey, how you doing? Where you at? I hadn't seen you in a while." And I said, "I'm locked away. I'm in Dublin, Georgia." And she said, "Oh wow, I didn't know that." Her words to me was, "When you get back home, when you get out, call me." She gave me her number. Um, and when I got back home, called her. You know, it was just so crazy. And she put me in the right places. She put me in the right rooms. She has a son named Joy Malik Brisbane. He was on one of the youngest people from Savannah on American Idol. So she's been, she knows what it takes to be a manager and a momager, I would say. And she actually started me off doing conducting youth Bible study actually in the church. So I would be in the back on doing Bible study. I'll never forget I was able to do Bible study in front of the whole congregation one Wednesday. I want to say it was on a Wednesday. Um, ATC suit. But she put me in the right rooms. I was at the Savannah Civic Center. We did a youth summit. Me, her son Jordan, and her daughter Jasmine with a youth summit. And I was in a group, and we had the DJ Lil G. We all was sitting around the table, and they had to answer questions. And the question was, these are young people. All of us are young. What are some things that you want to see in this community? I so happened to be the speaker for our group. So it was about a group of 5 people. And they had one group speaker. They chose me to be the speaker. So we all had to get in this long line, walk up to the stage, about 30 of us. And we had to stand in line and say what our group said. It was a lot of things, a lot of ideas, a lot of great ideas. Um, I was about 14 or 15 then. It was a lot of things that we as young people said that we wanted to see in our community when we were 15. I was 15 and some of them was younger. I've yet to see any of those improvements in my community yet. And I questioned myself. I said, why does the community not invest in young people? Why they don't invest in young people? Well, hey, I kept living. I'm just young. I don't have a voice. They ain't listening to me. But I had an opportunity to become a candidate for Chatham County Youth Commission, led by our current mayor Van Johnson. Uh, it was a great experience. It actually opened my mind up to government, opened my mind up to a lot of different things as far as how to make the world a better place, how to make your community a better place, how life is bigger than sports. I played football for a year for Colorado High Stallions. That was the only time I played sports. And so as I grew, as I continued to grow and learn more and more and more about my community and different resources and got exposed to more, I began to change. I began to understand that it's not always about how you start, but it's about how you finish. So one day I was in school. I told my principal I was excited about being a candidate to Tarrant County Youth Commission. So I told my principal, Dr. Tony Jordan, as that that I was in the Tarrant County Youth Commission, me and another girl named Kayla Oates. My class of 2015 out of Victoria. But it was just weird. Like a kid coming from where I'm coming from, to be in Chatham County Youth Commission, that's it's kind of it's not normal. You know what I'm saying? That's special. You know what I'm saying? You talking about a kid that's been back and forth with you now. Those type of young people are the ones that actually need those opportunities, but there's not a lot of programs that, allow those opportunities to those type of young people. Well, I was able to get in that program, but I also got kicked out just as quick as I got in. I was kicked out by current mayor Johnson because I did something in school. And as a man, I say I got kicked out. But as a boy, I said my former principal, Dr. Jordan, got me kicked out. The biggest part about that piece of that information is valuable to me because when I got kicked out, they met someone that I really looked up to, and that was President Obama there. And so it hurt me to my soul. I'm like, oh wow, y'all meet President Obama like as a candidate. Mayor Van Johnson sent me to speak at the Candler Center, where actually the mother of my daughter's nana was there, and I was actually talking to her daughter at the time. We share a child now, and it was just so crazy. And then I got kicked out, and I think I still got the email. I'm gonna find it. He said that my actions and my conduct did not model what Chatham County Youth Commission stood for. And that was just it hurt my feelings, it was vital. Um, and now I would say, he gave up on me, like he gave up on me. But it really did not stop me from, looking up to who he is, what I'm saying, because he helped me and exposed me to politics. Um, on top of not even knowing that I knew once I left Dublin that I was not getting in no more trouble. As soon as I came back home, my homeboy, I went to Savannah High to my brother's practice. My brother played basketball. I never forget. My homeboy Chris Coker said, "Hey man, you ain't doing no more dumb jobs. You ain't getting in no more trouble, bro. You gonna come to school with us, bro. You gonna you gonna chill. Like you ain't going back to juvenile." So I was very vital. Like it was very vital to me, changing my life around. The company that I was keeping before it changed, and I started, really beginning to focus on making a difference and not being like my dad. My dad was just never there. Like high school, it was different. You know, so I came back with something like, hey, the first day I went to Savannah, we went to the council, we signed up. I said, sir, I got left back one time. How do I graduate with my class? So I graduated with the class of 2015, which is my original class, but I was in ninth grade with the class of 2016. First year was went by with a breeze. I had to take some classes over, went by with a breeze. My math teacher, I love my math teacher, Miss Anderson. Uh, she really helped me to understand math. I really had a problem with math. I really didn't like math. Let's just say that I don't like math like that, but I love it now. Um, because I'm gonna have to manage millions and billions of dollars, so I'm gonna have to understand math. And I see that now. And so I went to school with most of my siblings except for my last year. I went to school with two of my brothers, a lot of their friends, so it was real cool. I used to really hang out with them. I thought I was, you know. thought it was they age. I thought it was the class in their class. I thought it was the class of 2014. Um, but that last year, when you was talking about, endurance and not giving up, that last year I feel like was just like the most craziest year. It wasn't one for the weak. As I stated, I want to graduate with my original class as a class of 2014, 2015. Um, I wanted to graduate my original class 2015, and I had to do just that. But at the beginning of the school year, I lost my great grandmother. I failed every class the first semester except for one because I took up for my best friend because the guy slapped a piece out of her hand, and I became a father. And so when I became a father, things became different. It wasn't about me anymore. It was bigger than me. And I said, no matter what, I'm going to graduate this year. Everybody else was taking 8 classes. I took 12 classes. My senior year of high school, I took 12 classes. So every class except for one the first semester. My daughter mother helped me to pass the math portion of the classes that I needed. My principal, Mr. Mango, we're gonna talk about him because he's so phenomenal. Oh my God. That man there is just I can't wait to drop these books and stuff to talk about him because he put me on. Mr. Mangum, we had a conversation and he made sure he did whatever I needed help with. He made sure he put me in the right position to seek the help that I need and the master graduating with my class 2015, and I did just that. And that's why I always tell people, it's not about how you start; it's about how you finish. But the biggest part for me to achieve that right now, like I give you free gems right now. The key to being successful, the key to achieving anything in life that you want to, you gotta write it down because a thought is just a thought. But when you begin to write your thoughts, your plans, your dreams, and your goals down, they become actions. They become like something that's going. There's manifestation. I gotta sit down and get it done. Just because I may not accomplish it this year, this day, or when I think I'm supposed to accomplish it, like I accomplish it. You know what I'm saying? And that's really the key to success is working hard and writing down your dreams, your goals, and your plans on what it is you want to do. And that's one thing I wrote down. I wrote down I will graduate my class in 2015,
Okay. Okay.
and I did just that.
I appreciate that, my brother. Whoa, you went in, man. You gave a lot, man. You
Gotta
gave a
give it to
lot,
you.
man. Yeah. So you mentioned the process, and let's go back because we want to stay on this topic, man, about the process. And I appreciate you bringing in that because there was an old saying that I read one time. It said that good things in life are caught in the process, but good things are not taught in the process. And I just stand before you to say that I appreciate you and I admire you for catching those things. My brother, the producers have indicated that you have been in front of Eric Thomas, Ralph Warnock, Stacey Abram. I'm gonna say Eric Thomas again because you said about the process, which is always better than the product. But what I want to do is I want to ask you, man. You once quoted, "Never let anyone put their limitations on you." Malik Jones. That's once what you were. So I want to ask you, since you've been in front of all of these leaderships, such as Eric Thomas, Stacey Abrams, you even mentioned Mel Van Johnson. Since you've been in front of all of these people, how has this shaped you for the leadership for running for alderman for District 3? Because we was heard, we see that you even indicated the number 3. So how did this shape you for the leadership uh, for District 3?
I tell you this, in order to be the great, you got to stay the great. In order to be the best, you got to outwork the best. And so, lastly, to be the best, you got to compete against the best, the ones who think they're the best. And so I say this to say is like I study these people, man. Like one thing about a good leader, in order to be a good leader, you got to be a good follower, right? And so you got to follow the right leaders, but sometimes the right leaders that you think are the right leaders have bad things about them, right? So when you follow so many different leaders, you grab all these good things from them, then you know. I'm gonna give you the book. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. Eric Thomas is the reason I graduated high school as well. Because he said if you want success as bad as you want to breathe, you can be successful.
That's it.
Every
That's
day I
it.
wake up, I'm worrying about how to become better, by how to make myself get closer to my dreams and goals. You know what I'm saying? Because one of the things that you missed that, that I also stated is you always got to put yourself in position to make your dreams and goals a reality. When you see the question that you asked was, is that going to help me? All along, I've put myself in a position to make my dreams and goals reality. And it's so crazy because I've seen Eric Thomas 3 times. I seen him 2 times in 1 month. I saw him in Atlanta, and then I saw him in Savannah State. I put myself in a position so that I could see him. But I remember what he told me at Savannah State when I saw him. I told him every time I said, I'm gonna keep following you. I'm gonna keep trolling you until you put me in your pack. But then Eric Thomas started talking about the table. The whole time I thought I wanted a seat at other people's table. But the whole time God's preparing me my own table. But he was giving me the connections that I needed to give VIP access to seats at my table to the right people. See, a table was already formed. I didn't even know. Now God say, guess what, son? Now you get to call those people up, or you're connected to the people to now. When I'm really ready to put your table out there, these people are going to come to you. They're going to remember you. So I sent an interview to Eric Thomas' right hand man. The third time I seen Eric Thomas in ATL, he signed and autographed my book, You Owe You. Guess what the numbers he put in there? 323. But he also put 3 circular dots in there. His daughter was so amazed by me that she took my book to him and said, Daddy, you gotta sign this, and you know who this is? The whole time is I'm looking at these people, idolizing them, but the whole time I'm not who people look up to. I'm the influential one, I'm a celebrity. So when I watch these people, I said, "Oh, I can do that. That's me." They when they retire, as they go down to lose the juice, then you're gonna have a young king like me for this generation. And a former someone sitting on city council right now, when I was telling them how I idol these people, her exact words to me was, and how I would want to meet these people. She said, "You're a phenomenal person. You have a phenomenal story. These people should want to meet you." And I feel that now, man. When this campaign launched, when this campaign really get off the ground, when these folks really get woken up of who I am. See, they sleep right now. They sleep. They sleeping on me. But see, what they fail to realize is people like Eric Thomas told me that while they sleep, you gotta be up working. You gotta get
Mm,
up before them. I do that.
mm,
Before
right.
I go to a speaking engagement, when I go speak at football camps, I go for a run. I ran 5 miles yesterday. I'm going in the gym, I'm working out. While they sleep, I'm working. While they sleeping on me, I'm working. I'm 10 steps ahead of them. They don't even know I told them 4, 5 years ago that this was gonna happen. I told them 4 years ago for sure in 2018, I told them this was coming. But they
Mm,
were asleep. See, they underestimated me. But the whole time I was growing up, I was being prepared. All my life, I felt like the underdog. But let me tell you something about being an underdog. When you're an underdog, you always come out on top because they don't believe in you, they don't respect you. And that's why I got my quote, invest in yourself until they have no choice but to invest in you. My other quote is very important is never give up on yourself because the main people you think are rooting for you have already given up on you. Family
mm,
means nothing. Family, family sometimes be your biggest hater. You'll be amazed that I got a family member who name is tattooed on my arm has the same name as my grandma, and they're supporting my covenant opponent. You will be amazed at how many calls I got after this interview and before this interview when I told people I was getting ready to run for public office. and people count me out right now. You shouldn't run. You ain't ready. Your name ain't big enough. But see, you just met me and you know that I'm ready. You've been on my social media. They going off Facebook. I'm all on Instagram doing something different. You see? See,
Right.
they playing checkers and I'm playing chess. And I've never ever physically played chess before. You see what I'm saying? But
Right.
when you study the greats, you train like the greats, you compete against the greats, you become a great. God had already
Mm.
prepared me for what I'm going through. They took 4 of my police reports and they sent it to the news reporter. They thought that was gonna make me look
So
bad.
hold on. And so let's speak on that. It was recently put out in the news about some charges, prior arrests that you had. And what I always say is, and I'm glad that shout out to ET for telling you that, man, and shout out to God because God's timing is always important than our own feelings. And so what I want to say is so let's dive into that because what I thought about, man, and I just want to let you know before I even ask this question, man, briefly, man, you definitely have my support. I understand that, some people would do that, and you're right. It's a shame that we live in a cold, cold world that individuals just will go against your other opponent, right? But at the same time, I just want to let you know right here on Wheel Y that you have our support. So real quick, one bad chapter, it says one, I read in the book, it said one bad chapter doesn't define a whole book. So let's speak on that about these charges, my brother, because I feel like anytime you're running for office, they're always trying to bring up your past. So what can you do for the people? How do you feel about this? And moving forward, what's your goal to turn that pain, because that can be pain, into power?
Um, First and foremost is I turned the ante up on 'em. Uh, they turned me up. As I was stating earlier, man, they expedited the process for me. You see what I'm saying? I wasn't ready to go into the media. I wasn't ready to go into the media at all. But they put me out in the media thinking that they were going to harm me. What the enemy used to destroy me, God used to elevate me. What the enemy used to break me down, God used to show me that He is real. And that when God says yes, nobody can say no. So let me tell you what they really did. They made me get out there and get my styles out even more. They made me get out there and start talking to the people more. And guess what? They made me start carrying this black marker around. Made me start carrying this pen around. You know why? Because when you level up, you try to dig up who you used to be. But the whole time, who you used to be is made you who you become. So how can you think you bringing up my past gonna hurt me when I'm a speaker? I go tell my story everywhere I go.
Mm,
How you gonna
mm,
use that? How you gonna use my prior arrest and my prior arrest made me Malik Jones?
right.
You
And
gotta
so
turn the ante up.
that's it. That's it. That's it, my brother. And so speak about the book. Talk about the book. Talk about the book and how is it inspiring? Because you motivate people based upon your words, but you inspire people by your experiences. So talk about the book, my brother, that Eric Thomas signed.
It's a UOU book. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, like it's so different because he talks about how you owe yourself. Like you owe yourself everything that is out there for you, cause nobody's gonna give you anything in life. And my voice was hoarse because the other day God just came and showed me confirmation that everything is I'm on the right track. And there's nothing that nobody can do to stop me because when God says yes, nobody can say no. And I have a few scriptures that I love to quote, and I tell myself, and one of them is Isaiah 54:17. No weapon formed against thee shall prosper, and every tongue that rises up against thee shall be condemned. God is preparing my table in front of my enemies. They sleep, but I told them in 2017 when I first started writing my dreams and goals down. After God came into me in the room, I swear to God, to you, if I'm lying, I'm flying. I know this is my passion, this is my calling, this is my life, and God manifests everything to me the other night. I'm laying in the room, I never forget like yesterday. My homeboy Javante Reed, God bless the dead, got killed in my old neighborhood, Carver Village. The same young man that killed him 2 weeks before he killed him, I was talking to some young men at First African Baptist Church for the same cousin who has my a covenant opponent signed in my auntie yard. This young man told the kids, "Hey man, y'all be quiet, y'all listen to me talking some real stuff. Like, y'all listen. We mean this young man went to alternative school together. 2 weeks later, he killed my homeboy in my old neighborhood, comes to Then another 2 weeks, February, I'm laying in my room and somebody else got killed in my neighborhood. I'm in the room, the dark room. I'm crying because I'm feeling the pain of these mothers, and there's so much senseless killing going on in my community. And this voice came into me and said, "Take back your community, young man." And when that voice said that to me, I knew it was nobody but God because it was a man voice. And immediately I got up and I started writing down goals, and I said, I want to start motivational speaking and I want to start a mentoring program. I started this program. I started his name is was called the Cycle Breaker Generation. I still got an email and I got an interview on WSAV Malik Jones. I talked about the incident happened down 4th of July. And if you Google it, you will see that my email address is still the Cycle Breaker Generation 2017. Wrote down goals, and I promise you, if I'm lying, I'm flying. I wrote down goals February 12th, 2017, and I got the book. I just showed my daughter last night the book and showing how everything manifested. February 10th, I bought the car, let my Lexus off the lot. One of the things I wanted me a new car. I went to Atlanta, I started meeting celebrities. I seen T.I. Young Thug, didn't know who Killer Mike was. I'm literally out there ripping up pieces of paper. I knew nothing about business cards, no none of that. I'm up there with celebrities in Atlanta, Georgia, State Farm Arena, writing my number, email address, telling them what I'm on. The security guards like, "Hey man, you know this? You need to go up and go talk to him." One guy, trouble manager, came up to me and said, "Hey man, you gotta get some business cards." All right, man, appreciate it. But they still took the paper that I had balled up. In Savannah, most of the time, it's hard for people that is doing security to let a regular person like me in the back because they care so much about their job. They care about these people. It was Eric Thomas who told me that his fans make him him. You know, when I met Eric Thomas, like when I first tried to get the picture, security guard said no. But I watched Eric Thomas so much, I remember he said, "I take all pictures because you make me who I am." I said, "Hey, yeah, we gotta get a picture." Yeah, he said, "Yeah, come on, real quick, man. We gotta go." Okay, all right. And I got the picture. So it ain't nothing that nobody could do to stop me from keep grinding. It's more than one way to skin a cat. And when they bring up your past, I mean, that just shows that they're intimidated. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like they
Right.
gotta try to bring me down. Nobody in their right mind would even do that to a young African American trying to make a difference in their community. That just shows how to hate. You know what I'm saying? Jim Crow law, old versus young,
Right.
young versus old. It's just another way to keep us down. Already got the system,
So so so
but now I
so
gotta fight people that. But
oh, I don't mean to cut you off. And so that's
no, you good.
that's leading that's leading to my next question. Cause when you talked about the old versus young and the Jim Crow, like you have worldwide support. So the question that I wanted to get into, what is the plan for the community? And and what do you plan on doing for the community? If you could just, don't, just give them a little bit piece of how you're gonna make changes, because I feel like God was picking you up then, and He's forever picking you up now. So what do you plan on doing for the community? What is the plan moving forward for the community, District 3?
So the plan moving forward is I got 3 platform points. My platform points, but the difference between me is I'm going to bring a different outlook to the community, to the decision making table, what this community needs.
Hmm.
For
Right.
one, I'm going to bring hard work,
Okay.
influence,
Okay.
suitability,
Right.
transparency,
Hmm.
overachieving, and a
Okay.
young man. You see, there's 3 phases of life. I'm in phase 2, right? The first phase of life where you're 75% a student, 25% a teacher. The second phase of life, you're 50% a student, 50% a teacher. And the third phase of life, you 75% a teacher, 25% a student, right? So you always learning. But the biggest thing is I'm going to bring youth empowerment, community regeneration, and business and economic development. Those are my three platform points. And I know your next question is how you plan on doing that? Well, business and economic development is where I take the current business and basically bring other businesses into this community and make them want to do business. One of the things that a lot of business owners have lacked in District 3 is great representation and equality, equal opportunity. Business owners that come to District 3 are held at a different standard than business owners that are in any other district. And that's not fair. That's not right. They actually have in the city ordinance that licensing or privileges and not right. One of the biggest things with business and economic development, I want to get in there and I want to help modify those wordings. I don't like those wordings. I don't think real business owners that are not benefiting from being privileged like that either. And so that's one of the things, biggest things that I'm going to bring. I'm going to bring equal opportunities for real. I'm not going to go in office for my own personal gain. It's bigger than me. It's for the people
That's it.
and youth empowerment. Youth empowerment is one of the biggest things. See, Savannah is a place they want older retired people. If you really look, when have you ever had someone in city council or Chatham County commissioner under the age of 30? I realized why Van Johnson told me twice not to run. Van Johnson didn't get into politics in Savannah until he was 36. I'm getting in politics at 26.
Let's go.
The
Let's
problem
get
is they don't want to train their replacement. What you gonna do with all this knowledge if you don't train your replacement? You want to tell me when it's my time, but I know when it's my time because God will tell me when it's my time. You can't go in the
that's it.
community and talk at
That's
the
it.
young people. You got to have a conversation with the young people. You got to go and ask them what it is that they want. And you got to make it happen
Right.
for them. You can't go in the community and tell little Johnny to put the gun down. Little Johnny home. Little Johnny in a single parent home. It's multiple of them. His mama at work. You got to recreate that village. You care more about locking him away. But guess what? He still got to come back to society. And what you gonna do? If he was broken when he left, he gonna be broken when he come back if you ain't got the right programs and opportunities in this community for our young people. You got to think about the future. You can't think about self and you can't think about now because these young people, they are the future. You got to have somebody that's going to replace you. You can't keep all the knowledge in yourself. So you got to have youth empowerment and bring these young people to the table and show these young
Mm,
people that people really care about them, that we
mm,
gonna help you. We gonna give you every resource that you need to be a productive citizen. We ain't gonna give up on you. We ain't gonna count you out. I'm here for the voiceless. I'm gonna average you to success story. I used to be one of you, but look at me now. I'm gonna give these young people hope, prosperity to look bigger than athletics, to look bigger than entertainment. The biggest way that you can make a difference in the world is join the biggest gang in America. You heard it, the biggest gang in America. See, they're working on a bill right now, a Senate Bill 44. Senate Bill 44 is to give gang involved crime and criminals a mandatory minimum sentence of 10 years, right? See, I'm glad you said I'm getting deep now. I'm getting that motivation speaking on. The same
right.
money that you will spend to put this individual away for 10 years minimum, you could probably spend less money. You could put the right programs to rehabilitate him and to change his mind if you expose him to more. But taxpayers pay for him whether we invest in education or incarceration. Taxpayers need to know that they dollars pay for everything that go on in this community, everything that go on. So they got to get out and vote. I'm empower these young people and show them that if you join the biggest gang in America, your local government, your local judicial system, your local executive system, then you can make change.
That's it. So we definitely, man, wow, just might drop on that, man. You done dropped so many gems, man. And it just got me hyped. So real quick, we wrapping for time, man. Last question, man, before we get into letting the people know where they can follow you at, letting the people know how they can stay tuned, how they can find the book and all of that. Last question. If you can sum it up with just two sentences. So who is Malik Jones?
Malik Jones. That's easy. I like that. I like that. Here we go. Malik Jones is the next alderman for District 3 in the city of Savannah. Malik Jones is also the first African American born and raised native of Savannah, Georgia, that will be the president of the United States of America. And I'm out.
Mm, you heard it. He said it right here. Say that one more time for the people that didn't get a chance to hear that. The first black what?
Hey, listen, real quick before I say it one more time. Man, I'm telling y'all, from now on, I just started this today when I was out with my daughter, showing her, giving her the history and putting on game of what I'm getting into the limelight. From now on, I carry a Sharpie with me and I carry a pen. Any article you see in a newspaper with my name on it, that you see me, hit me up on my social media. You better get these autographs now. But here's the go again. You're looking at the first African American, Savannah, Georgia, born and raised native, that will be president of the United States of America. And you heard it here first.
That's it. That's it. Well, so let the people know where they can follow you at. Let the people know where they can follow you at if they wanted to reach out to you to have more questions, more interviews, and how can they support you as well as where they can find the book.
You can reach me on Instagram. I'm very active on Instagram and Inspired by Malik on Instagram. I also have Malik for District 3 page on Instagram for you to follow. I have a voter registration link in that page as well. Young people, please register to vote. Also I have Malik for District3.com. You'll be able to go on there. The website is under construction, but for the most part, while even though it's under construction, you will still see what I stand for as far as my platform points and things of that nature. You can also check me out on Twitter at Inspired by Malik and Malik Jones on Facebook. And I'll even give y'all my number because it's gonna be my number that's for the people. If you ever want to reach out to me, my number is 912-659-1435. 912-659-1435. My email address is inspiredbymalik.com. As you see, everything about me is inspired by Malik. Check out my website, inspiredbymalik.com. That's how y'all can reach me. Definitely stay tuned, stay tuned, stay tuned.
Man, wow. Now, you heard that, viewers. It's the first person that came on the show and gave out their phone number. So it's up to you. Phone number, email, everything. Everything. Get out of here and support Malik Jones. This is a brother who knows what enduring perseverance feels like. He knows how it feels to be happy. And most importantly, he knows the importance of being a public success versus a private failure. Right here on Wheel Y, a public success versus a private failure. My brother, we appreciate you coming on the show, man. And like I said, me personally, the producers right here on Wheel Y, we support you. We look forward to hearing from you, and we look forward to seeing the plan that you have right here for Savannah, Georgia. So we appreciate you coming on the show. Continue doing big, big things, man. We got to have you back. This is just the beginning. Not the end, but just the beginning. Because again, like my brother Malik Jones says, God's time is always important than our own feelings. Support my brother Malik. I am Shaq. We are Y. It's about time. It's about that time. I am Shaq. We are Y. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I am Shaq. We are Y. I don't know if you heard it, but I'm going to go ahead and jig it up and turn up this beat. And Malik, we appreciate you coming on the show, my brother. Blessings to you.
Hey, appreciate it for having me.
All right. There it is. We out.